Whether it's used professionally, commercially, or for the casual hobbyist, there's just something special in creating and printing your own 3D design and having a physical object in your hands shortly after. You don't have to create your own designs though, and that's where websites like Fab365 come into play, with pre-built models ready for you to print and enjoy. Bear in mind, I have no affiliation with Fab365 at all, although I was intrigued by their folding designs, so join me as we build my first Fab365 model, the Morris Mini Cooper S Rally Edition. Although new hardware improves on speed, 3D printing is a time-consuming process that does require some patience. The Morris Mini Cooper S Rally Edition is a small model in comparison to other models available on the site, yet has various different parts and pieces to print and place together, so it does have some complexity. Upon purchase, we gain all the relevant STL files for that model. STL only mind, so no editing and customizing of models, I'm afraid. Although I began by arranging the same colour parts on the print bed, with the aim of printing several parts simultaneously depending upon colour. In hindsight, I'd recommend not doing this, since if one part fails then it'll mean you have to stop all the remaining items too, so take consideration of this should you decide to follow in my footsteps. So on we go with printing. Now the way these work, and what makes these designs so interesting, is the way they've been created to print in one piece with very little if any support material being needed, but being designed in a way that the final piece can be folded and clipped together to create the final model. Personally, I find it all pretty impressive. Should any support material be required though, it's already built onto the STL model, which can have its downsides, but we'll see how it works soon enough. Bear in mind, I did decide to increase the size of the model by 20% to make things a little larger, and I'm printing at 0.1mm layer height, which is the recommended, but you do need a pretty well dialed in printer to produce these, since some of the gaps and tolerances are rather tight, considering parts fold and clip into each other. Although I'm no expert, and even though I feel I have my printer reasonably well dialed in, it's by no means perfect, although enough to produce some well detailed prints. When it comes to time, some of the very small pieces print in a few minutes, while some of the larger pieces naturally take a lot longer, the largest piece being the main body of the vehicle, taking around 11 hours to print alone, although bearing in mind the higher quality as well as the scale increase, so all in all I'm looking at around 17 hours or so for this model to complete. So upon print completion we have a larger number of parts here, and fortunately all parts printed nicely first time. No issues there at all. Note that the only piece here with some support material was the main body, although that came away with relative ease, leaving us ready to construct the final model. As stated, the beauty of these designs comes with the thought behind how parts fold and clip together. Some glue is still required though, so you'll need to keep some handy. In fact, I used more than was actually required, but for now we can glue parts onto the main body and proceed to construct the entire model, being careful not to snap any parts that press fit, but being firm enough to ensure parts securely clip together. And there we have it, model complete. Quality is great and it makes for a nice 3D printed project. The way parts fold and snap together with pins and clips built into the model, albeit with some superglue thrown in to make for a solid complete piece, make for a pretty simple overall construction process, resulting in a 3D print that'll sit nicely in any collection or perfect for giving as a gift.